Hey, I'm McGee with YETicket.com. Well, the film I'm going to talk about right now is a documentary called Black Ice. Now, this is directed by Hubert Davis. Well, Black Ice, what does that mean? Have you ever watched hockey? And do you have a team to root for? And if you're African American, Black, or African, do you see many Black players on those teams? No, I haven't over my years of watching hockey. Here, the Florida Panthers, they do have one Black player, and they played in the championship. I was rooting for him and the team, but I really didn't know the full history of hockey and Black people who wanted to play hockey. Here in this film, Black Ice, it tries to educate me on what I should learn from the past, and also some things that's happening right now in the present with hockey. Ooh, it's not a great story to tell, and it's horrible, really. Well, this documentary, it talks about the history of racism in, well, hockey. And of course, that racism starts in Canada because, Canada really created this game, hockey. It's really a Canadian game. And they consider this a white sport. Yes, they consider hockey a white sport. I remember when I was young, we moved into a mixed neighborhood. The white guys, the white young teenagers, they played hockey by themselves. They didn't invite anyone from the neighborhood that was Black to play, not at all. But some of the Black kids got mad at them, and so they beat them up and took their skates and hockey sticks, unfortunately. But anyway, this is considered a white game, hockey. I never thought about that because I just watch it and I know it's nothing but white guys are in it. They even import guys from Europe to play hockey, but really not a lot of African Americans in here. But do you realize that Black people were playing hockey throughout 1865? And they had a colored hockey league of the Maritimes at that one time. Yes, they had their own Black colored hockey league, just like a colored baseball team back in the day. Now, I will admit, again, there's a lot in this I did not know, and I'm so glad that I learned how things are in the hockey league. And the colored hockey league created a whole lot of new patterns and tactics for the game, but they never got credit for it. For example, the slap shot, and also how the goaltender can drop to his knees. Back then, they were not to lift their sticks up off the ice, and the goalie or the goaltender had to stay within that area of the net, could not come out. Well, the colored league created a lot of that so people could score and also enjoy the game. I didn't know that either. A little bit of history about how Blacks got to Canada. Well, first of all, it was the last stop of the Underground Railroad. And then many people from the islands, Jamaica, places like that, immigrated to Canada back in the day. And, they allowed them in, but they still did not treat them equally. For example, there was a community called Africville there in Canada, comprised of all Black people, many Black people. They had their own houses, church, and things like that. But in the early 1900s, Canada got rid of them because they said they wanted to use their land for railroads and highways. And they kicked all the Black people out of that town, tore down their houses, church, and everything. Only thing they got standing now, just a symbol of the neighborhood, some big building to say, well, Blacks used to live here. But it's that symbol of that house. It's surrounded by the railroads and the highway. To show you how they took them out of their own neighborhoods, out of their own small patch of humanity. Now they got spread it everywhere. But anyway, getting back to the hockey story, many Black Canadians wanted to play hockey. They played it very well, but did not get the chance to really play because of racism. There was one example of a young man. He was playing like a little Pee-wee League hockey, and one of his teammates called him the N-word. He reported it to the manager, but the coach or whoever he was, that was his son. And no, he did not discipline him. He just told him, don't say it. And his son refused to even shake his hand when they were playing. In hockey, there's really no discipline for racism. There was one time in the NHL where a fan threw a banana out because there was a Black hockey player. Only thing happened to him, he got fined $200. And they said, oh, there's no racial overtone in this. He's a real nice guy. He made a mistake by throwing a banana on the ice in front of a Black player. Right now, they are investigating a coach who had racist tactics to a Black player. So far, nothing has been done about that. They say they're still investigating that. There's one female hockey player, her last name is Tinker, and she went to Yale to play hockey. But there was racism there, but they never did anything about it. And back in the 40s, 1948, there was a Black hockey player named Herb Carnegie. He tried out for the Boston Bruins. He was very good. They made him an offer, but the offer was way below what they were paying the white players. He refused it. They offered it to him again. He refused it. He just left. And they called him uppity and arrogant, things like that, because he wanted a better contract that's equal to the other guys on the team. This is 1948. So he didn't play with the NHL because they didn't want to treat him equal. Not at all. Also here, they also show the first Black hockey player who got into the NHL. He's in this documentary too. But overall, this film, Black Ice, did teach me a lot about the racism in hockey overall. Also, this film too is produced by LeBron James, Margaret Carter, and Drake and Future, which is very good. I can understand why Drake and Future, because they are Canadians, and I'm sure they love the game. That some former Black NHL players like PK Subban, Make Duba, Wayne Simmons, and Akeem Ali, they tell their stories about the racism that they had to face. And also Don Cherry, you know, he took time out to talk about his experience with hockey. And as I say now, this is very educational, thought-provoking, and this film showed how many of the young players at the time had to learn to, well, change for them so they can be accepted. You just got to see this. But to conclude, though, today there's 26 players in the NHL who are Black, but 20 of them coming from Canada. But the game has grown, and also it's trying to get more diversity, but they still recruiting from Europe, as you can tell. I'm going to give this 3 palm trees out of 4 because I just felt there was other stories to be told in this, but I didn't, edit it. I didn't write this documentary. So I guess I'm basing it on myself by looking at it. There's still much more to tell, but they didn't. Maybe they're going to do a part 2. I don't know. But watch this and also look up the Colored Hockey League and learn more about that. Man, This is a very good documentary. Black Ice. Thanks for watching me, and see it for yourself. This week, starting on the 14th of July, it's in AMC theaters. Then the week after that, it'll be on different platforms and things like that. So you can watch it today or anytime you want to throughout this week. Thanks for watching me, Al McGee. I appreciate it.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.